We all have been seeing the Meg The Stallion and the baby rift that's been going on for a little minute. I just want to say before we even jump into that, we as people, we got to stop jumping to conclusions, or if we see a story coming out on the internet, or you seen them on the blogs and stuff like that, we got to stop jumping in other folk business and just giving our personal opinion. I know the comment section is there for a reason. You know, that's what social media is all about. I do understand that. But y'all be making the situation worse. And a lot of times the story come out, it don't even be the full story, but y'all already quick to jump down people's throats and say what y'all got to say about the person. And remember, these people are human at the end of the day too. And then a week later, or a month, even a year, sometimes longer than that, y'all be end up looking stupid when the full story come out. And come to find out, it won't like the way that you thought it was, you know? We gotta stop doing that. Now, I know it ain't gonna happen. You know, that's a perfect world that I would like to live in. But that's in life too. Cause y'all do that shit at home too. You hear some shit going on, somebody dirty laundry out, and y'all quick to comment, don't even know the full story. Y'all just in somebody else's business and just saying whatever the fuck, and then just spreading the shit. You know, that's how rumors always get started. People talking about the shit, and then another nigga gonna repeat the same shit that you just said, and it's gonna come around to a whole full different story from whatever did happen. Now, I just wanna say, with this platform, I want to give people their flowers too. I mentioned that shit before. I don't ever want to downplay nobody on my shit, new, old, whoever. And I just want to say, these are two young black people right here who are doing something in life. And they change their lives, and then they can change the people around them's lives also. And even more, they're capable of doing a whole bunch of shit. You know, that's what we call black excellence. It's way more than that too, but at the end of the day, I just pray that they can get to a space where, you know, they can move past this. And of course, if they don't need to be around each other, then so be it also. You know, us as humans, we tend to keep people in our lives longer than what we need to, because a lot of people are only supposed to be in your life for a certain amount of time. But us as humans, we keep them in our lives longer just because, you know, we fuck with this motherfucker the long way or whatever. And I don't really care for the feuds and the shit like that goes on in the industry and entertainment, because one thing that I always notice, white people invest in our shit too. They buy the music, they go to the shows, watch us on TV. They invest in our lifestyle, and that's cool. But like when the feuds be going on and shit, they really do be getting entertained by the shit. Like some of them shits be some silly shit, but there be a lot of feuds also that really do be some street shit. Okay, and especially if you live in a city where you see shit like that going on with rappers and shit, you know what I'm talking about. And you already know, like, not to be talking about this shit, because you could talk about the shit around the wrong person and you end up getting involved and getting your head knocked off and shit. You know, that shit can turn into something serious. And I feel like they be finding that shit real entertaining, of course. And it don't just be them too. And I feel like the bigger industry, like the bigger politics, like labels and whoever else, I feel like they be kind of low-key entertained by the shit a little bit too. And then they be trying to invest into the shit and be trying to make the shit worse than what it is. You know, labels, blogs, whatever. Just making the shit something more than what it should be. And I don't really care for that. I ain't gonna lie, as a child, I was like, hey man, you know, as a child, you used to get entertained by the shit. I was there for the big and pop shit. I was a child though. I was a jit. You know what I'm saying? So I don't even remember that shit as a child growing up, you know, seeing the after effects of it. You know, 50 Cent and Ja Rule, Jay-Z and Nas, Jeezy and Gucci Mane. I remember the game Meek Mill was beefing like a few years ago. At that point in my life, I was already like, I don't even care about that shit no more. I just want to hear the music. But I always noticed that shit, and I don't really care for that shit. That's just like when you see certain people in the entertainment, like actors and comedians and whoever, when they be in the movies, a lot of them feel real strongly about putting a dress on, because they feel like I'm kind of tap dancing for these white folks and shit like that. That's what it kind of feel like to me when some of these beats be going on. Like, I know it be some real shit with a lot of them, but they be watching and they just be entertained by the shit and be speaking on shit that they don't know nothing about or shouldn't even really be talking about. I understand it's hard because you watching and shit like that, so you a fan, you invested in some of these people, but I don't care for it. But back to them. This is all I want to know when it comes to them, right? Are y'all really friends? Because this makes a difference. Are you industry friends or are y'all legit friends? That makes a difference. Did you bring each other around y'all's family, introduce on some love shit? Or is it just, you know, just like how it is at work? You might fuck with somebody, but there's another motherfucker you don't fuck with. Don't expect that friend to be in your shit. They just trying to do them. Is it just on some, every time you see each other, man, it's love and shit? That makes a difference. I do want to say I admire how the baby didn't really like go back and forth with her too much. For real, he wasn't really trying to do that. But I just want to say she got every right to feel the way that she do feel, because getting shot can be very traumatizing. I've never been shot. I know plenty of people who have been shot, and it can be traumatizing. You got a lot of motherfuckers who will walk around. I know a lot of motherfuckers that walk around who've been shot that just, you know, just shrug it off. Yeah, it hurt, whatever, though. You know, keep it moving. But that shit can be traumatizing, and people do need to understand that shit, because you could potentially lose your life. I know plenty of people who lost their life over getting shot. And she got every right to feel, especially, you know, if he really was your friend, you can look at it as, oh, you fucking with the ops. I'm not sure. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? We don't know these people from a can of paint. Just giving my personal opinion. It started off with a fan, from what we seen. A fan said something about Tory and the baby doing the song and how they done shot somebody, just trying to make fun of the situation. And it looked like he retweeted the shit. All I'm gonna say with this is, people do get hacked for real. I understand it may look like he on some bullshit, because we done seen celebrities say a lot of shit on Twitter before, and really they was just, you know, they try to recant the shit, but really they did do that shit. You know, y'all remember when Gucci Mane did that shit back in 2013? That shit was very entertaining, even though he was in the dark space at the time. As a fan, just looking at the shit, because I probably was still entertained by that beat shit back in the day. You know, he said some shit that made me laugh. You talking about Iggy want to suck my dick and all that shit. That shit had me laughing, but he really was in the dark space at the time. So it wasn't funny for him. He said he didn't do it, and I believe it. Shit, my social media page done been hacked before. So it does happen. I done seen it happen to plenty of people. But he denied the shit. He said he didn't do it. And she kind of wasn't really going for it, because people had a lot of shit to say. And he pretty much told her, like, man, come on, I ain't on that type of time and this and that. And she ain't really trying to hear it, because she felt like he was acting one way behind closed doors and then doing this. And he told her, like, hey, I don't know if they recorded the song before that or after that. He said he wasn't trying to promote that shit, and he said that he told him. And I noticed how he said, I'm not trying to inherit nobody else's beef. Okay? Now, you got to respect that shit. Like I said, I don't know if they real friends or not, But if a nigga telling you that, hey man, I ain't got nothing to do with that shit. You know, you just gotta respect that shit and then just fuck. Like, you already know how to deal with that shit then. You know what I'm saying? Sound like they might not be, you know, like this. So, like I said, you gotta respect that shit. You just know how to deal with him. If he do a song with him or not, or whatever, it just look at it as that man just trying to make his paper, feed his family, and just do what he gotta do. Cause you see the type of nigga that he is. You done seen it on the goddamn vlogs or on videos or news or whatever. You don't know what I'm talking about, look it up. All right? So you already know the type of nigga he is. It don't seem like to me, I don't think he would be on some whole shit for real. But like you said, he don't want no part of that shit. And I remind the fact that he didn't really go back and forth with her like that for real. He did do something at the end where I'm like, damn. When he was like, man, I don't need to be going back and forth with my own bitches. I'm like, damn. So you already know the boyfriend stepped in and he had to say his little 2 cents or whatever. And the BET Awards just had passed like a couple of days. She done walked off the stage because she don't want nothing to really do with him. And like I said, that's just like you at work. You might not fuck with somebody. That person that you is cool with at work, right? That's probably just your work buddy. They ain't like your street friend, your friend for real. So you can't really get mad if they ain't trying to indulge in that shit, man. It's kind of like the same thing, man. He don't want no problems with that shit. Okay? Now, if that is your real friend, then I definitely understand, like, all right, man, I ain't fucking with that. But like I said, I don't feel like he'd be on some type of time like that. We don't know for sure. I don't think so. If that's your friend for real, yeah, you working with the ops or whatever. You know, I don't think it was like that. I think it was more necessarily him. It looked like he was kind of make fun of this shit. I don't think she believed him. You know what I'm saying? But regardless, you already know how to treat this shit. Friends or not. You know what I'm saying? It's just you coming to work and doing what the fuck you gotta do. And don't even stunt none of that shit that anybody got going on. You know who your real friends is at the end of the day anyway. Not saying that he can't be. He could be. But it's a real touchy subject because, you know, somebody got shot behind this shit. And she ain't doing nothing wrong by reacting the way she is because she's still hurt by that shit. And I feel like he ain't doing nothing wrong because from what he says, he didn't make that retweet. He didn't make that retweet. And he don't want nothing to do with that shit at all. He's just trying to make his money and keep his name out the bullshit. Ain't nothing wrong with that. It is nothing wrong with that. And I just pray that it does get to a better situation with them two, because we all done seen them come up. They had a song together, you know, that was playing on the radio every goddamn 30 minutes, man. I got tired of hearing that shit. They can do so much more together, you know. Everybody, all the girls love the baby. All the girls love Megan, and all the niggas love Megan. Niggas fuck with the baby too. You know, they can do so much together. And I know at this day and age, being a rapper, it's not looking too well because you see a lot of people getting gunned down every time you turn around. It is not looking good for rappers right now. And not saying that, like I said, they shit is that serious, but it could potentially turn to some serious, okay? And especially like in the black community, I ain't trying to talk down on us, but a lot of times we be getting this shit over a female. Not saying that like that's her situation, because at the end of the day, whatever the fuck that did happen to allegedly, that is wrong. But man, this shit could, if somebody wanted to, turn this shit into something else. I pray that don't happen. I pray they just make their money and just keep it moving. Okay? So, all I'm going to say is, man, I pray once again y'all move from this situation. Okay, y'all got a lot of fans that love y'all and that pay attention to y'all, and y'all already know how I feel about the other thing, what I said at the beginning of the video. Other than that, y'all like, y'all subscribe, y'all please share this also, and y'all be blessed.